82 Society, welcome back to another reaction video, and today we are reacting to Carthu no Dojo's video. What's actually going on with Dragon Ball? Recently some news done dropped, you know what I'm saying? We getting some remakes, we getting the Galactic Patrol arc, nigga. We getting Moro, nigga. We getting Moro, nigga. Fuck. We is finally getting Moro animated. And my dog, Carthu no Dojo, shout out to him. We gonna leave his credentials in the description of the video, you feel me, as I do with everybody else that I react to. But I want to see what he's got to say about this
video a few months,
like everything that's been releasing lately,
ago, talking about the current state of Dragon Ball. And I'm not kidding when I say, like, a week later, the event Genki Damasuri, an event that's entirely dedicated to Dragon Ball announcements and the future of the series, was announced. I had no way of knowing this was coming before I made that video, so it was kind of
I heard about it.
But now people are going back to that video and commenting that it aged like milk, or that everything is better now, and I should have known this. I could not have known that then. I only knew what I knew, all right? I was not granted the gift of prophecy from Apollo,
but look,
okay?
Look, though. I was coping and hoping for Xenoverse 3. Knowing we wasn't done with that fucking DLC, that fuck-ass DLC. I knew we wasn't done with it yet, but I still wanted Xenoverse 3 regardless of the fact. And I just hope I still get it one day, because I still crave it. Moving Saiyan tails. Actual transforming hair when you turn Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. Super Saiyan 4, if you don't get that in Xenoverse 2 already, you know. New, cooler, just even more in-depth character creation, more hairstyles and shit, and more options in terms of races that we could choose, all the generic shit, bro.
The other information than what was available. So I did want to wait until the event
I
happened,
still want
to
it.
make sure
I need Xenoverse 3
to the video and talk to you about the relatively exciting future for Dragon Ball that we just got announced to us. And the first thing we should start with is the anime, and better to start with the anime that's coming sooner than later, and that's Dragon Ball Super Beerus.
I'm just happy Dragon Ball's coming back, man.
Anything we haven't seen before, technically. It is just a remaster of Dragon Ball Super, but it's more than just a remaster in the traditional sense. They're not just doing a few corrections on episodes and calling it a day. This is a full recut and reimagining, is the term that I've liked to use, of Dragon Ball Super. So Battle of Gods, which was what, 14 episodes, I think, in the original run of Dragon Ball Super, is only going to be 6. And the 14 episodes that made up Resurrection F, that's also only going to be 6. This means this series is already less than half of the length of the original Dragon Ball Super anime run. It's going to be an easier entry point to get your friends and other people into the series in a way that makes sense and doesn't come with a lot of caveats, or you telling them to watch a movie that doesn't actually fully make sense with the anime, but it's close enough that if you don't think about the details, you'll probably get away with it. You could just have them watch what is probably going to be the definitive version of Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, as well as all of Super. Because this is a big misconception I've been seeing. Yes, the title is Dragon Ball Super Beerus, but this is just a part of a larger recreation of the entire Dragon Ball Super anime. It will cover everything. And part of something that was announced is that they are looking to import more manga materials into this. So maybe to bring it more in line with the Dragon Ball Super manga, and eventually better lead into their next anime project, which I'll be talking about in a little bit. Something important to talk about, a lot of people went into this kind of knowing, because it got leaked, to be honest, that there was a Dragon Ball Super remake of some kind. But a lot of people thought, oh, new character design, started from the ground up. But no, this is using the original series as the basis. That does mean the character designs are still from Tadayoshi Yamamuro. So if you don't like the character designs, that's not changing, unfortunately. But you're getting splendid animation on top of it, great actual animators and talented, seemingly, directors working on this. I mean, that one shot of Beerus looks so insane. And to be a director competent enough to make new and interesting shots that work in a series that already exists, hold on.
I just peeped. Subscribe to my goat, man. Go ahead, subscribe to one of the goats, man.
And storyboard, I mean, I can't wait to see the names on this, because I'm excited. It looks honestly better than I thought it would. Please, so if you're not a manga reader, hopefully this will give you at least some of the manga material. And because of that, it might actually take away some of the anime-only material. Only time will tell what gets removed and what gets kept, but it should be interesting to compare to the old Dragon Ball Super and the manga, and for a lot of people, this might feel like relatively new content, especially once we get to the Universe 6 tournament and beyond.
What if they combine them, though? You know? You feel me? Like, what if they combine anime and anime only and manga moments? Like, take the Gohan versus Kefla fight, and then the Goku. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched the Tournament of Power, so do not fry my shit. But what if we take that manga fight and then we take Goku versus Kefla and we merge those two? And now instead of Gohan and Kefla being diced out of the tournament, both trading blows and going out, I think that's what happened. But yeah, instead of that, how about we have Goku come in clutch, save his son, take the fade for him, and then that transitions into the UI fight and him finally offing Kefla out of the tournament, Kamehameha and her shit through the fucking, tournament of power. You feel me? Sending her back to her universe and shit. You feel me, boy?
Now, if Dragon Ball Super Beerus,
that would be cool. I feel like, because it'll give Gohan his moment, but also still give Goku his moment. But the way it depends on how they would do it. I don't know though. We don't know what they're doing either. So this combining shit, this is all headcanon. But it sounds cool to me. But we don't know how they could do it. I don't know.
And this Dragon Ball Super reimagining was the only thing that was announced at this event.
I don't even know if
I would say people had a right to be angry. I mean, I was told this reimagining was happening, and my first reaction was, oh no, people are not.
And what I mean by relevant is, like, I don't know if they're like even time relevant to each other. Like, they don't happen near the same exact times that the fights actually happen in each continuation.
Happy.
My bad, no Carthu.
They actually knew better, because they announced something that's in pre-production right now, and that is Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol.
Yes.
Now, we don't have much to go off here because all we really have is a key visual and basically a poster. And the character designs on the poster, it's kind of hard to tell who's actually the designer here, but it's either the character designer from DBS Broly or DBS Superhero by the looks of things, both of which are very, very talented artists and will make for a very good looking arc. I did notice something interesting about the designs though, and that
shit go bless my eyes, nigga. Oh my gosh, I can't stop thinking about it. Oh my gosh, if only oh my gosh, if only I didn't read it like ahead. I would have read the manga through Carthu's channel with y'all, but I already read that shit. I read it with TSO Sage, bro. I watched his video, I believe, and I watched like a couple other people react to it too. I ain't gonna lie, so I seen that shit like twice, or who knows how many times. I think twice though, but yeah.
That is that they look way more similar to something like an old school Dragon Ball Z design rather than a modern Toyotaro design. I'm sure that's intentional, as the design philosophy there fully speaks more so to what Dragon Ball looks like, especially a Toriyama Dragon Ball. I mean, I go to this image a lot, not because I want to roast Toyotaro or anything, but just to show where the difference in design and proportions are in terms of his characters. He often has a smaller head on Goku, he's a bit lankier of a Goku, and his hair is usually a bit smaller than Toriyama's designs or really any other character designer that isn't Tadayoshi Yamamura. But like I said, this project is in pre-production. We basically know nothing. If you know nothing about the Moro arc, I mean, there's plenty of videos on the internet, including my own, talking about what material makes up that arc. So if you want to get a little head start on the information, you can if you're a little impatient. But, of course, I think this is going to be an amazing anime adaptation, only because they're announcing pre-production now. And apparently, the earliest this could possibly come out is late 2027. I mean, they're going to have a lot of runway for this. And it's possible, based on the name, that this is only covering the first half of the Moro arc, meaning it could be a seasonal format, allowing the series to have a second round.
So you mean to tell me there could be a timeline where I'm living in where GTA 6 and Dragon Ball Super is back? I need to stay alive for this. I need to. I'm staying my ass in the house. I mean, I'm already doing that, but I was saying it even more, nigga. I need this. Oh my god.
Pre-production, in between seasons, and keeping the series at a high standard of animation and visuals to go along with this, honestly, amazing arc. Probably the best arc in all of Dragon Ball Super, and it's not really close. In the stream that I did covering these announcements live, something that was like a recurring question, and I'm not sure why. Why no mention of granola? Why aren't they talking about granola? Guys, we have to do things in order.
Let's slow down.
This is pre-production for possibly just the first half of the Moro arc. They're not going to announce the next arc now. You don't expect One Piece to announce Elbaf before they're even on Egghead Island. That only makes sense to One Piece fans, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it has to go in sequential order. Be patient. You're getting the Moro arc. You can't already be complaining, where's granola, okay? Yeah. We have to do it one arc.
And then also, let the manga, let the manga get its time to itself so it can continue a little bit as well. We need that to continue so we don't get stopped at a stunt like Hunter x Hunter. You feel me?
At a time, they're sequential. Another important misconception.
But that's different though. But like, still though, Hunter x Hunter doesn't have enough material to animate at the moment, even though the manga is still continuing. I think. Me personally, I say bring it back, but maybe it ain't enough yet. Maybe it ain't. But don't get me. Oh my gosh, let me stop with Hunter x Hunter.
I saw a lot in the chat.
That's a whole different
they
fucking
had Hans
topic.
Zimmer do the music for that little 40th anniversary video, showing off all those beautiful animations. Some were CG,
that
some
scene.
were 2D
I love that
scene. That brought Toriyama's own illustrations.
Like all of these manga
that
scenes
video
right here.
was just stunning.
All
I got
those sequences
emotional watching it. But Hans Zimmer is not doing the music for the Moro arc of the Dragon Ball Super anime. It was just a one-off thing to help elevate this project that was bringing Akira Toriyama's artwork to life and celebrate the 40th anniversary of this very monumental series. But it's not deeper than that. Don't think he's doing the music for any anime series or anything, all right? I think he's got bigger fish to fry. No. So between the smaller team that's handling the
niggas
Dragon Ball
tell the
Super
streamers all of this shit, bro. Niggas got Hans Zimmer on the Dragon Ball Z music? Nah. Niggas' dreams is crashed. Damn.
Slightly larger team, I'd assume, at least slightly. I'm assuming it's actually a decent amount larger. Team that's working on Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol.
Just blocked by James. We're gonna have
Dragon Ball content probably for the next, 2 years at least, animated straight? This is not gonna be a Daima situation. We're not gonna get 20 episodes and then call it a day for a while. It's going to be a series. We're going to be in the world of Dragon Ball again for quite some time. Now, remember, the Dragon Ball Super anime will be cut down on those original arcs that we've already seen. Yep. So don't expect those to last, the same 131 episodes. It'll probably be less than 100 if I had to guess. But they'll get us at least a year of the way through. Then we get the Moro arc, then we get Granola, then we get Superhero. Maybe we even squeeze Broly somewhere in the middle there, so that way we have a Broly movie retelling that maybe even includes the 3-hour script that Toriyama made for that movie.
Oh.
But maybe that's a bit too ambitious from my end. I'm just saying, there's plenty of Dragon Ball coming.
We need
it!
The
next 3 years, we might
Give
have
it to
anime
us.
On our screens weekly, with minor breaks in between if they do a seasonal run for the newer arcs. To be clear, too, we also don't know if there will be seasonal breaks between these Dragon Ball Super reimagining arc things, or if they're just gonna
Hey, y'all can't take my damn name. Hold on, hey. Hold the fuck up. They can't take my shit. They can't take my shit, man. Hey. They can't take my shit. I already did this. Hey. This ain't this is kind of promo, but hey, I see that. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it. This space is bothering me so bad. I think it's like I could just hit that bitch one more time and just be like, you know what? What am I talking about?
Really hard to be sure. Apparently, they were scared to use the name Kai internally because Kai flopped in Japan, so they didn't want to call it Dragon Ball Super Kai. And
Yeah,
that's
make it
where
say
this
Kai.
naming convention of naming it after the arcs came. But yeah, that's all we know for the anime as of right now. So let me move on to the games really quickly. And just like the last video I made about Dragon Ball news, and like the comments wanted to remind me, I don't know shit about Dragon Ball games. I am just giving you the information that I can see, and you can seek out more information yourself. I promise you, Google isn't scary. Just type in your question. So something I want to get out of the way quickly, because I'm not talking about any specific game too in depth except a certain one. And that's the currently existing and currently operating Dragon Ball games, for the most part, have something happening. Fighters has a tournament, I think they said, and some other games have DLC, with Sparking Zero apparently having a massive DLC. But whether or not these things matter to you are on an individual level. Look up your game, look up the word DLC 2026 or DLC Genki Damasuri, and you'll probably find what has been announced for your game of choice. I think there was something announced for basically everyone, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because there's a lot of active Dragon Ball games. And the next thing, and the biggest news of the game section, is that there was a new game announced. It wasn't Xenoverse 3, it wasn't a sequel game, it is a new project called Age 1000. That name isn't permanent, by the way. They're gonna name it something else, but that's just the current working title. And so this game, as by the name, takes place in Age 1000. If you don't know, Age is the name for Dragon Ball years, so Age 1000 is year 1000 on the Earth calendar years. And Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super all take place in the 700s, specifically like the second half of the 700s. So everything's happening in the back half of the 700s, which means this is over 200 years since the events of something like Dragon Ball Super. Now, that means we are disconnected from the main cast, we are disconnected from characters we know, and it allows this story to flesh out the world of Dragon Ball with something new. We're not just gonna go fight Raditz again, I hope. Please don't make him like Time Traveler, go into that training room he was doing in the trailer and have us fight Raditz. Oh, Raditz is here, you have to beat him first. Please don't, please.
It's original Akira Toriyama design
as the opening. Please don't do it again. But as long as that doesn't happen, it'll be pretty cool to see Age 1000, and especially with this new character, who I think is the main character, and was designed by Toriyama himself before his passing. This is one of the final character designs for a new character that we have from Toriyama. Now, there might be a couple others that we haven't seen yet, but this is gonna be one of the last character designs for a new character from Akira Toriyama that we're ever gonna see. And something about that just hits. It just hits me a bit differently. So I do want to give this game a chance. My biggest issue with most Dragon Ball games is repetitive combat and the fact that you're playing through the story of Z basically every time. So if it could innovate on both of those, I mean, I'm in. I'm in to see the world of Age 1000. Why not let Dragon Ball games explore content that's not covered by the anime series already? We let non-canon movies do that for years. Why don't we let the games be non-canon movies and do their own thing and separate themselves from the shackles of a story that's already been told a million times? I think that's one of the things people wanted out of Sparking Zero, and its what-if system that I think was lackluster, apparently. I didn't play enough of the game. I don't know. Tell me in the comments. But I think that's what people want. I think people want something different and fresh. We can't have the same games, the same combat style all the time. Not everything can be an arena fighter. Even if they play slightly differently, the nuances are lost on a casual player like me in terms of these games. Something else about this game that's pretty cool to me is that it takes place in Age 1000. Now, like I said, that's over 200 years after
people said that's in the timeline of Xenoverse or
more
Dragon Ball
interestingly
Online or
than
something.
any of that is that this is when Dragon Ball Online took place. Now, that doesn't mean this is going to be an MMO and a sequel successor to Dragon Ball Online. I really doubt they're going to do that. But what I do think it means is that we're going to use some of that lore and story that Toriyama crafted for Dragon Ball Online and implement it into this game, and potentially even an expanded version of those stories and elements. This could be a really interesting look into Toriyama's perspective on the world of Dragon Ball, and maybe we could see some connections on how things tie together. We also have the modern context of things like Super, and if we see characters like Beerus and Whis in this game somehow, well, maybe that'll say something about where they end at the end of this series, and if Beerus is even still the god of destruction, maybe. It's actually something pretty exciting to see out of a Dragon Ball game and a Dragon Ball project in general. So I actually hope it's some interesting and cool content that we get out of this besides just gameplay and a new setting for the story. And with that game out of the way, that's basically the biggest announcements that we got at this event. I mean, those are some pretty big announcements, but if you're smart and you looked at the thumbnail, you know something else is missing here. where's the manga? Now, this was the biggest disappointment for me of the whole event. I thought they would announce the return of the Dragon Ball Super manga, especially if they're going to be animating manga content.
Yes.
Eventually, they're going to catch up to the manga.
Exactly. I was
monthly
just
manga
saying
chapters
this.
were about the length of 3 to 4 weekly manga chapters.
I was literally just saying this.
He's
Thank
doing
you
roughly the work of a weekly manga, just a little bit less, but that means they could catch up to him very quickly, just like you could catch up to a weekly manga very quickly. If we don't let him have the 1 to 2 years head start that he deserves, to be honest, to get ahead of this anime and to allow the anime to better seamlessly follow his work, then we're kind of doing him and the anime a disservice. Yeah. There's also something important here. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, just cancel the manga. There's no Toriyama anymore. Let's just end it. I said this in my other video talking about when should Dragon Ball end, but there are loose ends in Toriyama's own approved stories that have not been tied yet. Black Frieza is still out there. We still need to figure out how we're landing into the end of Z, and I think at the very least those two things need to happen. Maybe a Beerus rematch as well to cap off this era of Dragon Ball with the way it started. But without those things, I think we can't have a true end to Dragon Ball. Now, if you want to end it after that, you want to end the manga, you want to end the anime-connected series of Dragon Ball Super, that's fine. But I do think we should allow Toru the opportunity to finish the work he was doing alongside Toriyama before his passing. I think that's only fair to him, that's only fair to Toriyama's work,
his skills and success.
That's also fair to us. So, I hope we get an announcement soon about the manga returning. But otherwise, it's a great year to be a Dragon Ball fan, it seems. Also, I'm uploading this really close to my last video upload. I like that video, so check it out up here. But that's all I have to say.
That's also what I wanted to watch. Oh, shit. My bad.
So I made a video.
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab that video, matter of fact. Go ahead and add that bit to that. Vids for reacts, but you know what I'm saying? Go react to, not react. Hold up. Go watch Carthu's videos, man. Go sub up. He uploads peak videos. This is a whole new channel. I already said this, so I haven't watched him on here yet. But he's a dope YouTuber, great guy, great content creator. One of the GOATs of Dragon Ball, and I appreciate his content. His video and channel his video title will be in the description alongside his actual channel, so it'll be a direct link to him. So if y'all want to go see more videos like that, go ahead and check him out over there. I also have a reaction. I also have a gaming channel alongside this reaction channel. That gaming channel is my main channel. So if y'all want to go see more videos like that, go ahead and go sub over there or go look over there to go see what type of videos I make over there. I have plenty of playlists, plenty of videos for you guys to watch. I have recently hit over 500 videos, so I have hella videos for y'all to watch, and there's honestly hours of content on here. So yeah, I also even have a Discord for you to be able to interact with me and maybe even other fans or supporters. Not fans, I did not mean to say that, but yeah. So if you want to join the Mari Mob and support me, I would genuinely appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video, turn on the notification bell, this type of content, and I will see y'all in the next video, y'all. Peace. My swag, she don't want to see me get up in my bed, ball up, double they mad. Friends when the turn and the haters, I'm watching them fall up. I just walked in the stage, she looking like she want to spit on my rags. She looking like she trying to spit on his dick, but I think she just trying to spit for the cash. I think she just want to spend for the money, that's probably why I'm a fucking a dash. Cut to her hold my DM, she looking good, she tell me she fucking with cash. We finna run a per diem, until we found out about it a little bit to get